everybody. I'm Stacey J.
And I'm Chuck Duran.
Welcome to another amazing episode of VO Buzz Weekly.
That's right. And we have a special treat for you guys today. We have an up-and-coming film director who has created this new movie about voiceover, and it's called Unseen, and you guys are going to love it.
Yeah, so we'll get there soon, but let's do a tip of the week first, Chuck.
I have a good one.
You always have good ones.
Yeah, but this is really, really cool.
Okay.
Enunciation, okay? Real simple. Too much of it makes you sound like an announcer and not a real person, okay? Don't over-enunciate every single word, because then you'll end up sounding like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't over-enunciate. Yes, you do, Arnold. Read the copy and try and sound natural, like you're having a conversation. This will make you sound real, okay, which is exactly what talent buyers and agents want to hear today.
Good one, Arnold.
You got it.
I have a viewer email.
I love viewer emails.
I know. This is a great one. This is coming from Erin in Los Angeles.
Nice.
She writes, "Hi, Stacey. Hi, Chuck. At the end of July, I posted a little message on your Facebook page asking about audiobooks. Y'all quickly responded, linking me to your interview with Scott Brick. I watched it immediately, took notes, and signed up for the class that he co-teaches with Pat Fraley, which I took at the beginning of August. It was an amazing class. I learned a ton and walked out with a narration demo. Within 24 hours, I booked my first book on ACX, and I'm now working on a young adult fantasy, a series of vampire poems, and just got put on the roster of a great publisher.
Wow.
And it all started with you guys. Thank you for introducing real talent with real insight into my life. I am extremely grateful. Chuck and Stacey, you rock. Erin, you rock.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is
Good
so
for you.
cool.
I'm sure it's the beginning of a very long
Absolutely. Good
career
luck
in
with everything,
audiobooks.
Erin.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing it.
Absolutely. Let's go to Molly now.
Absolutely. All right, you guys, with us is a very talented filmmaker and photographer who graduated with honors from the University of Southern California's Film and TV program. She has also had her work featured in the New York Times. She is the producer and director of an incredible documentary called Unseen, which we're going to talk all about. It is such a thrill to welcome to VO Buzz Weekly the very talented Molly Mahar.
Molly Mahar. Welcome to VO Buzz
Molly.
Weekly.
Your name's fun to say.
Wow. Honor student. We haven't been with an honor student yet,
I don't know, Chuck.
right?
I feel like it's long enough past that time that I should probably just forget about that moment.
I don't know. I think it's kind of cool.
You worked hard for that, sister. You keep
mean,
that honor. I'm going
that-
to keep calling you an honor student.
I'm
I know
still-
you're not, it's not like
Yeah.
you graduated yesterday, but
I'm still trying to become an honor student.
yeah. Well, keep
No,
going,
no
Chuck.
good luck for me.
Never give up.
So, yeah, man. I'm going to go back really quick because we were at
how we discovered your
a
work.
SAG Foundation
A mixer for the
Mixer.
Don LaFontaine.
Don LaFontaine SAG Foundation, and we saw your film, Unseen, and I freaked out. Well, both Stacey and I were sitting in the audience. We were like, this is like the coolest movie ever.
It's so
okay? And it is. And you guys are going to have to watch it, and we're going to tell you how you're going to do that, but not just yet. I want to ask you, because after seeing that, I was like, wow, this took a lot of work. Like, whoever made this movie, and then we saw you, and you're like, oh, really put some time into it and knows what they're doing. So I wanted to ask you, what made you want to become a producer-director? Like, give me a little background on you.
I never actually thought that I would end up directing or producing. I went to film school at USC, as you guys said, and while I was in the program, I was actually focusing on cinematography because I had a background in photography since I was a child, and I just really loved looking at things.
Right.
So I never thought that I would become a director or a producer. I don't necessarily like everybody looking at me to make the decisions for the crew, but after I got out of school, I worked in advertising for a little bit and then just decided that I really needed the creative outlet, and that with documentaries, often the way to do that is just to go out and start shooting, and you have to make your own project happen a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously you have that curiosity about you because you've traveled a lot, haven't you? I mean, have you always been, were you a curious kid or?
Probably.
She's still curious.
I feel like that's a better question to ask my parents.
Yeah.
I do love to travel. I've gone to a lot of different countries. I didn't really start traveling until actually once I graduated from college, and I try to make time in chunks to see new places and meet new people.
Yeah.
I'm a member of Couchsurfing, if you've heard of it, which is like an online hospitality exchange where you meet strangers in other countries and stay with them.
Wow.
And they become your friends.
That's cool.
Well, we hope they become. I've seen movies about that, and I'm not going to join that party.
That's not a documentary we want her to
No,
make.
no.
So now let's talk about this movie. Okay, you have your co-producer is B.J. Schwartz. You guys have made this wonderful film called Unseen. How did that come about? How did you decide? I mean, you don't have a voice acting background, so all of a sudden.
Yeah, what made you decide? Hey, I want to make a movie about voiceover.
Well, so I was working at a trailer house that made movie trailers. So all day, every day, day in, day out, for at least 9 hours a day, I would hear voices reverberating throughout the hallway over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And so when I finally decided that it was time for me to go out on my own and do some of my own creative projects, I thought this would be a really great film to make. I've always been curious who these people are behind these voices that I hear every day. And you know, they're probably pretty cool people, so I would like to meet them. And I had really good access, having worked at the trailer house, so I knew like the agents and everything to get in touch with them.
Yeah, that would talk about the inside scoop there.
Molly's got the.
Isn't that illegal? No.
If she abuses them, it is, Chuck.
Yeah, right.
So tell us about Unseen. I mean, what was that like filming it? And we should say who's in it. Ben Patrick Johnson, Melissa Disney, Bo Weaver, who you've seen on VO Buzz Weekly, and Bill Ratner, who's actually coming up on a next episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes. So we put you right in between those lovely, talented men. But what was it like working with them, and what was the process of filming it for you?
Overall, I would just have to say it was a lot of fun. When I first approached people, most of them were kind of reticent to be on camera, or rather half of them, I think.
Yeah.
Bill and Bo were kind of like, oh, I don't know about being on camera.
You know, they say that, but
They
then you
do.
get them on camera and they're amazing.
They're hilarious and they're so natural. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they were kind of the dark horses who were really fantastic. And of course, Ben and Melissa are kind of used to being in front of people, in front of the camera a bit more. So they were very comfortable with it and very excited to do it as well. But I really had no idea how much fun I would have just kind of like hanging out with them and seeing what it was like and experiencing them being well directed and badly directed by various people.
Yeah.
Well, because it was Buddha Jones that you worked at, right?
That's correct.
So working there, you hear the finished product, but then you got to go and see how it all started from the raw script to
Yes.
the final report.
I had been occasionally at the trailer houses. We always need temp VO, and most of the time, somebody who works there ends up just doing the read because
Right.
we're right there.
So did you ever try any trailer voices? Do you have a trailer voice?
She does. Do your trailer voice.
Come on, let's hear it.
Come on, Molly.
In a world beyond your imagination.
That's so good.
It's really.
That's great. See, you could be that good too.
But I actually never had to do the trailer
Yeah,
voice, but I had to do ADR a lot of times. And I found that it was much, much harder than it seems when all that you hear all day is the finished product.
Yeah.
And people who've been doing it for decades, you don't realize that when you get in front of a microphone, it's
Yeah.
a lot different and it's a little stressful and you sound like an idiot.
Well, you can. But for some of the people out there who don't know what ADR is, can you explain what that is real quick?
Well, technically, I guess that means automated dialogue replacement,
Right.
which is usually when you're looping, and so it's not technically that we were doing.
Right.
We didn't ever loop things, but I would listen to the spot and hear what the original dialogue was, or they would have a script that we were replacing the dialogue, and I
see.
would just read it. And
So you were doing
I
like the
see.
scratch audio for
yes,
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
that's a better.
Wow, that's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, and then you got signed by William Morris, right? And now
I'm still waiting on that.
okay.
William Morris.
So she's
Her
still
phone
waiting.
is on. She's waiting.
That's crazy.
We'll put your contact information up there for William Morris. So what are your hopes for Unseen? What do you want the film to do? How can people get to it?
I suppose my hope is for as many people as possible to enjoy it, to watch it and enjoy it and learn more about the voiceover industry and what the job really entails. I was drawn to it because it's kind of an invisible job behind the curtain, you know, in my Wizard of Oz thoughts.
Yeah.
But people can go to the website and see it.
What's the website?
The website is unseenthedocumentary.com.
Okay.
Unseenthedocumentary.com.
Nice.
Little promo there. Okay, good.
So what did you learn about the voiceover business that you didn't know from doing the film? Was there anything that
I was
stuck with you?
surprised by what a variety of work everyone did. I was only really exposed to the trailers and
Right.
TV commercials and radio commercials for movies. And I never really thought that it was the same voices that will introduce radio stations and do other commercials and do animation. And I guess I kind of thought that people did one niche or another and didn't
Yeah.
realize that one person could do so many different things.
Yeah. Did you have any misconceptions about the voiceover business or about voice actors before you got more exposed to the industry?
That's a tough one. I don't know. I think the thing was I had never really thought about it before, which is part of why I made the film, because
Right.
there's so many people who just never think about it. You are bombarded with voices in the media and pictures all
Right.
day, and so rarely do you actually pay attention to what you're hearing or seeing. So I guess it's not really a misconception, but just a non-conception of it.
Yeah.
So I'd never really paid attention to the voices before.
Do you have any aspirations to be a voice actor?
I do not.
Good for you. Well, good and bad. Hey, you know what? We'll check back with her in a few years,
Yes,
though.
yeah.
Because you never know.
She's going to work on that trailer voice.
Yeah, right? How did graduating from USC help you to become a better director?
Well, you go to production classes
Yeah.
and everything, so you learn a lot of the basics. But what USC is really important for, and I think a lot of the bigger film schools, is your network when you come out. I'm in school with all of these people who are now even very successful and have made a lot of films, and you stay in touch with people. And so it's neat to see them at the beginning stages of their career and to be at the beginning stage of your career and be working up together and just have that network of people available to you. I think that was really the most important part.
That's cool.
I want to talk a little bit about, you have some other projects you've done. There's one called Vaulting, which, I was watching the trailer. It's so compelling. It's just, I'm like...
She started crying.
It's such a beautiful... So because I want people to go, they'll go to your website for that, mollymahar.com. But I want you to talk more about that because it's such a beautiful story that you've brought to light.
So I think you probably actually saw the entire thing. It was just a very short piece that I did one summer. That's a sport. So vaulting is gymnastics on horses, which you'll see when you go to the website, everyone else. And I used to do that as a child. So when I came out here and was working on projects, I wanted to reconnect with one of the teams that I knew of from when I was a child, which was the Valley View Vaulters, which are in Los Angeles, and Rick and Virginia, who do an amazing program working with disabled vaulters as well as able-bodied vaulters. And so that's what the film is about. It's just a little short thing about them and their program, because it's just so wonderful what they do. And
It is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really cool. You guys should check it out, man. It's really neat.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
like 8 minutes long? 6 minutes
Something,
long?
yeah,
So-
6,
But I'm
8
telling
something.
you, it's really... Everybody has time to watch this. You're not that
Absolutely.
busy.
No.
Yeah. So good. Thank you for doing that. I was,
Yes.
I'm
and
glad
now
you
I
liked
feel like it's
Yeah.
more in my awareness. So, which I think is important about documentary films. What is it about documentary films that speaks to you versus original creative scripts?
I think it's important to know about the world around you, and with documentaries, you see something and you know that it's really happening or it's happened in the past. And there's a lot of true stories that happen in fiction filmmaking, but I think a really great documentary, there's a place in your heart that it can touch that maybe something that just came out of somebody's mind can't necessarily reach the same spot.
Yeah. Okay, so is there anything you're working on now that you'd want to talk about? Or
I have a couple of projects that I'm in progress on, but I don't know that I want to talk about them before I'm sure if they're going to be finished.
Understood.
But if everyone wants to check out my website, come back to mollymahar.com in the future. I'll be posting updates about projects that I'm working on there.
Brilliant.
Cool. Absolutely, and you should.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, quick question here on the movie Unseen that we saw. That's so amazing. When you shot that, was any of it scripted?
There was a tiny part that was scripted. The opening sequence, which is just voices over the credits.
Okay.
My producing partner BJ made some fake trailer scripts, which we had people read. So that's the only moment that's really scripted.
Okay, and everything else is just them going
I'm
crazy?
Following them around.
Really?
I love it.
Wow,
Well, let's
it's
show
amazing.
the trailer.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's go to a trailer.
Watch
Check
this,
it
you
out.
guys.
Our business is so weird. Go, 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 go.
I can do like little kid voices over here.
Rated PG-13 starts Friday.
I can do like a granny voice here.
I'd like a can of peas, please.
Our mothers don't understand what we do. What'd you do today, honey? Well, I sounded like a football player and I played the part of an artichoke. Oh, that's nice, dear. Voiceovers, you're doing about 3 things at once. You're selling,
And for the ultimate collector, Apocalypse Now, full disclosure.
you're telling a story,
There are people in this world who are looking for adventure.
and you're emphasizing specific copy that the copywriter and the producer has said, this is what we want to sell.
You feel like you're participating in Hollywood, I suppose, but this is so behind the scenes.
I think the idea is to be invisible. I think it's a subtle thing.
It is about attitude and emotion.
There's a precision and an exactness that just isn't real.
Voiceover performance is storytelling with a point of view. It's not about your voice. It is about what you do with it.
Wow. Was that cool or
Love
what?
it.
I told you.
I know.
Now, when you watch the movie, you're going to freak out. In fact, we want you guys, after you watch it, come back and shoot us an email and let us know what you thought
Yeah,
of
and
it,
post
okay?
your comments on Molly's
Absolutely. And let
episodes so
Molly
she can
know
hear
that you
from you
really...
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, question here, because that was so cool, do you think or have you thought of maybe making another voiceover-related movie? Don't say no. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Maybe having us in it?
No.
Come on. We're famous now. I'm kidding.
I've thought about expanding the project into maybe a feature about the movie business or about trailers and about everything that goes into making a film that people don't realize. So that's something I'm considering doing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So, do you think maybe we could be in it or?
Oh, Chuck.
Maybe.
Very good,
We don't
Molly.
want to be in it, Molly. No,
Very
I'm just kidding.
diplomatic. She's very good this one.
Yeah,
She's
right?
got a good sense of business.
Yeah.
I can't say who's going to be in it if I don't know exactly what.
Exactly. She doesn't like to reveal.
Aw.
Yeah.
Did you have who were your inspirations as a filmmaker or as an artist? I mean, you're a photographer, you do so many different things. Do you have any inspirations?
I think one of my filmic inspirations, one of my favorite directors is Amir Barlev, who made My Kid Could Paint That and also The Tillman Story, which I think are 2 really fantastic films and are great because they take on a topic that is very easy to have an opinion about and remain very neutral throughout the entire thing. I think especially My Kid Could Paint That. I watched the movie and I'm thinking, but do you think that she actually painted it or not? And you don't know what he thinks by the end of the film, which
Wow.
is great. I think as an audience member, you want to watch the film and be able to make up your own mind. And his films do that, and so I
That's
think
cool.
He's a really...
So you're probably thinking of maybe shooting something called My Kid Could Paint That Too.
I think I need another child prodigy painter.
Yeah.
Yes,
Something
yes,
like that.
Maybe.
Wow.
But I
that's
think
good.
it's great when a film sparks dialogue, even if people
Yeah.
don't agree. But it makes people really have to cement their point of view, and so I think that's a really good indicator that a film is
Yeah.
doing its job.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, as a director-producer, okay, what is your ultimate goal? Do you have one?
Continue making documentaries forever.
Forever. Okay, so this is your love, right?
I
This is,
do love
you
it.
Yeah.
breathe this.
I love it. I love learning new things, and I'm kind of shy a lot of times, which is why I'm nervous about being in front of the camera. And
She's just making that up.
Really great.
and so part of what is really great about me making documentaries is that it really challenges me to meet new people and always be putting myself out there.
Yeah.
Instead of just kind of reverting back into shyness. And so it's always challenging for me. I'm always learning new things. And you kind of get to pick a subject and say, I want to be an expert in this subject for the next couple months or a year or years. And then you do that, and then you get a chance to be an expert in something else. And
Yeah.
there's really so few jobs where you get to do that.
You're a good sport, right?
Oh boy.
We have
We're
a
going to
little
put you on the
fake-
spot, girl.
We have our little what if question on VO Buzz Weekly.
Oh, okay.
So
She's
just-
like, she likes it now. It's a
She's
game.
like,
She likes games.
I have piqued her interest. Pick a number between 5 and 129, please.
123.
Look at her. She was ready. She's on it.
That's my lucky number.
It is? Do you want to tell us why?
No, she's not going to reveal that.
Are you
I don't
Molly
even
now?
know why. I think
She
it's a
doesn't know.
random occurrence. But,
1, 2, 3?
But it's so easy. Yeah, you just
Yeah.
count. It's nice.
Okay. Now hit me with 1, 2, 3, or 4.
3.
3. If you had to be addicted to one thing, what would it be? Family show.
I'm kind of addicted to sugar, and I feel like it's not
Really?
that terrible of a thing. So I may stick with being addicted to sugar.
What's like your holy grail of sugar treats? What is
Yeah.
like you would
The
go
bad stuff like Starburst and Skittles that
Really?
are just like pure sugar. I have a weakness for them.
Nice. Now we know what to get her when she
Yeah.
signs with William
Get her
Morris.
some Starburst.
Yeah, just send me like a pound of Starburst and I'll be
Nice.
happy.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool.
Good.
Well, I like sugar too. My band's called Rock Sugar. So
See?
you should check that out. It's
You
pretty
guys
neat. And do we have anything else for Molly?
Is there anything else you want to talk about that we've missed?
I don't need to reveal that.
Oh, that was great.
That's probably
Oh
good.
my God. Okay, so this awesome movie, Unseen. How do we go see it? Where do we go?
You can go to the website. It's unseenthedocumentary.com.
Unseenthedocumentary.com. You're going to need to go check that out right now. Okay, Molly. Thank you so much for being on VO
Thank
Buzz
you.
Weekly.
We look forward to
Thank you,
seeing what you
Stacey.
come up
We
with
appreciate
next.
it.
you.
And I got to tell you, you are talented.
Yeah.
She's a talented girl. This girl's going to go places.
Hey everyone, thanks for checking out this episode of VO Buzz Weekly. I had a great time in the studio with Chuck and Stacey, although I was a bit distracted by Stacey's amazing shoes. I hope you'll check out my film Unseen. You can watch it online at unseenthedocumentary.com. Thanks.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, everybody, but be sure and tune in next time for another awesome episode of VO Buzz Weekly. And don't forget to check out the movie Unseen. You'll be glad you did.
Absolutely. And you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest at VO Buzz Weekly. Take care until next time, you guys, and just remember, you always have time for a little buzz.